What's the most shocking betrayal you've ever experienced in your own family? For me, it wasn't some stranger, some coworker, or even a friend. It was my own cousin, my blood. And what started as a simple act of trust ended up in a courtroom with my entire family watching me collapse under the weight of betrayal I never saw coming. Let me back up. I grew up with my cousin Daniel. We were more like brothers than cousins. He was a year older than me, but we did everything together. Sleepovers, school projects, even got our first part-time jobs at the same grocery store. Family gatherings always had people joking, "You two should have been twins. I loved him like a brother." By the time we were in our late 20s, life had taken different paths. I worked my way into IT, saved up carefully, lived modestly. Daniel, on the other hand, was always chasing something bigger. Flashy cars, get-rich-quick schemes, girls who only stuck around as long as his credit card worked. Still, whenever he stumbled, I was the one who bailed him out. Because that's what family does, I told myself. The real story begins when I bought my first house. It wasn't anything fancy, but it was mine. 2 bedrooms, a small yard, just enough space to finally feel like an adult. Daniel came over the first week I moved in, walking through every room like he owned it. He slapped me on the back and said, "Man, you did good. This is the start of something huge for us." Us? At the time, I laughed it off. A month later, he showed up at my door with bags in his hands. "Bro, I need a place to crash, just until I get back on my feet. 2 weeks tops." Against my better judgment, I let him in. 2 weeks turned into 2 months, then 6. He never paid rent, barely helped with bills, and worse, he treated the house like it was his. Parties on weekends, friends I didn't know crashing on the couch, even using my credit card by accident when he ordered food on my laptop. One night I confronted him. "Daniel, this was supposed to be temporary. I can't keep carrying you." He scoffed. "Relax. Family doesn't nickel and dime family. You're making good money, aren't you? What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. That's how it's always been." That line stuck with me. At first, I brushed it off, but I didn't realize how literal he meant it. The small twist came 3 months later. I got a letter from the bank about a home equity loan in my name. Except, I never applied for one. My stomach dropped. I marched into the branch the next morning demanding answers. The banker flipped through the file, then gave me a look I'll never forget. "Sir, you signed this paperwork 3 weeks ago." Except it wasn't my signature. It was Daniel's. I raced home, shaking, my mind spiraling. When I confronted him, he didn't even deny it. He just shrugged. "Look, I needed cash. But relax. I'm going to pay it back. I invested it. This is for both of us." "For both of us?" I shouted. "You forged my name on a loan against my own house. Do you realize I could lose everything?" Daniel sneered. "You're overreacting. In 6 months, we'll be rich. Just trust me like you always have." I tried to hide the mess at first. My pride wouldn't let me tell my parents or the rest of the family what he'd done. I thought if I just worked extra hours, tightened my budget, I could cover the payments until Daniel magically made good on his investment. But then another twist. One night I came home to find Daniel throwing a party in my backyard, drunk out of his mind, bragging to his friends about how this house will be his soon anyway. That was the night I snapped. I kicked everyone out, dragged Daniel inside, and screamed, "Pack your stuff! You're done here!" But he didn't pack. Instead, he laughed in my face. "You think you can kick me out? This is my place too. You signed it over." And that's when he showed me the papers. Not just the fake loan, but a fraudulent transfer of ownership he had forged, making it look like I'd sold him a stake in my house. The next weeks were hell. He moved into the guest room like he owned it, changed the locks on doors inside the house, even tried renting out my garage on Facebook Marketplace. I called the police, but they told me it was a civil matter. So I did the only thing left. I hired a lawyer. The courtroom battle dragged on for months. Daniel lied through his teeth, producing fake texts, emails, even claiming that I'd been unfit to manage my finances. My own family divided. Some believed me, others whispered, "Why would Daniel make this up?" The big plot twist? During discovery, my lawyer uncovered that Daniel hadn't just targeted me. He had done the same thing to 2 other relatives in different states: fraudulent loans, fake signatures, siphoning off family property. The only difference was, I fought back. When I confronted him with the evidence outside the courthouse, he finally snapped. "You always thought you were better than me." Well, guess what? When you're standing on the street with nothing, you'll understand what I've lived through. That day, Daniel lost everything. He was arrested for fraud and identity theft. The house was legally restored to me, but the damage was deeper. My family shattered, my trust destroyed. My mom begged me not to press charges. "He's blood," she said. I looked her in the eye and replied, "Blood doesn't mean family. Respect does." Now, years later, the house is finally peaceful again. I fixed the holes, changed the locks, scrubbed out the memories. But sometimes, when I walk past the guest room, I still hear his laughter echoing. So let me ask you, what would you have done? Forgive him because he's family, or cut him off forever like I did? Follow and comment your thoughts.